The pull. 1. The difference between my body and the objects it encounters. Body, a process, a shifting liquid experience, a pull, spread, push, contract kind of being. Objects, the way I know my body is in this world. The hard, incredibly black metal pan on the stove. The olive oil pouring out of the bottle. Heat in dense blue, slurping magnetic arcs out of the burners. Heat near my belly, my wrists, my fingers on the handle of the hot pan. This is when the objects and my body come to know each other, come to define themselves in relation to one another. I am a creature that feels the heat of this pan, that eats food cooked by the heat in this pan, coated in the oil that runs out of the glass bottle. I am a creature who travels inside a machine, presses a lever with her right foot, fills a hole in its side with an anteater's snout, snout that cracks bedrock, snout that eats money, delivers brown juice. I am a creature who owns this machine, who thinks it should do my bidding, take me wherever I like. I'm exasperated when it needs servicing. Can't it take care of itself? I am a creature who sleeps like sandwich meat between foam and feathers, in a box with yellow walls and a wooden floor. A creature who does not have to deal with her own excrement, can send it spiraling away as if it did not exist. Is this how I know my nature? Could it be different? Could my daily objects be non-objects? A life in verbs instead of nouns. Breathing, in motion. Could I touch verbs? Be held by them? Pour cold water out of them into my mouth? Or stick my mouth inside them, maybe my whole head, and suck the water from them as they move in ways I cannot and do not wish to direct. 2. 1. The future tense of a supernova. Free or incredibly low-cost pizza makers, baby shoes, and disposable straws. Things no one needs but Americans buy anyway. 2. A short but deeply muscled black man with a tattoo in cursive on his thick neck that says Wanda. 3. Trying to get another fix from the pusher on the corner, his shining pink forehead buried in a bowler. So hard to communicate through the double-paned window, no voice, and assumptions of deadness. 4. Wanda in all her glory, perversely cooking eggs on a nonstick. 5. Fissures, combustion, insufferable light, opening, sifting, stripping, burrows and burrows, lives molten into the pits of mountains. Like the colonizer who insists on living according to his old order, the rhythms of his mother England, his biscuits at 3, his plastic skin, his white button-downs, even in the tremendous heat. Cultural adaptation? Only a capacity of the lower classes. 6. Typical tech world internet handle. His last name spelled omitting the final vowel. Untraceable, elegant, and yet requiring no creativity to invent. Name that was at first a profile, that became a man, and then quickly a ghost. 7. Ghosting, a new verb. Taking up residence next to other things with which the internet replaced life-sustaining actions. Replaced with a false sense of agency, acts of actual doingness. To be ghosted. We're all nonplussed to be on the receiving end of that stick. And does that make the ghoster plussed, as it were? Perhaps. 8. Ghost. A verb that means non-doing. The rejected, not even deserving of an active rejection. rejected only by assumptions made in a vacancy. 9. 9 or 10 cops, mostly at attention, holding the sides of their belts, chests jutting, elbows cranked back, surveying everyone. 1 or 2 sloppily out of form, standing but slouching, or leaning against their bicycles, like ordinary men. 10. 9 or 10 white cops and 1 skinny black drug addict, repeatedly fixing the waist of his pants, as if his undergarments can't quite fit beneath the fabric and need constantly to be reached into and smoothed down. Blood on the sidewalk, almost invisible against the red brick. And yet, from up close, somehow hyper-visible, especially after staining the tan soles of unsuspecting shoes. 11. The thick, indecent smell of menstrual fluid in the bathroom stall. Not my own, but enough like my own smell to be intimately recognizable. Feral. Undeniable. 12. Confessions, first to the church and later to Freud. The biggest ear of the modern century. Foucault, the spanky scholar, conceiving the panopticon swinging around the black leather playroom. 13. The history of bodies. Bodies. Their very firmament, created by history. And history, produced, organized, formulated by bodies en masse. Bodies hanging from ships. Bodies buried in fields and pyramids and walls. Bodies directing great hulks of steel across the land and sky. Bodies below pairs of hovering eyes. Fixed before glowing portals to anywhere. 14. Planets, stars, asteroids, and empty space produce bodies but are not produced by them. Not reciprocal entities like history, land, mountain. Space, a place we manage to visit but do not yet seem to occupy or to change. 3. An eye for an eye. Sometimes it isn't about forgiveness. It's about anger. Anger invigorating. Anger demolishing. I don't know if I can tolerate the risks associated. My frustration. My arousal. Female desire makes men and women uncomfortable. So does my rage. Do I have an eye to occupy here, in this America of lowercase women?